After Lamine Yamal scored for Spain,
لا إله إلا الله إسبانيا 1 السعودية 0.
he celebrated in style in front of the fans from Saudi Arabia. Spain would go on to win 4-0. However, this was not the story involving Spain's prized 18-year-old forward. The coverage from the English media has been straight up uncalled for. For example, Sam Dean of The Telegraph has been quite relentless in his coverage of Yamal for the newspaper. Spanish footballer Borja Iglesias also saw it and told the media, Yamal is an extraordinary player, so the attention is understandable. But I would also like you to ask Lamine about what happened during the Spain-Egypt match, where there were racist anti-Muslim chants heard from the stands. For Dean, he wrote this article for The Telegraph. Lamine Yamal is very different to the boy who lit up the Euros. Teenager remains Spain's talesman, but boyish charm has given way to political activism and controversial episodes. Many, like myself, just know where this is going. We know the direction this is heading in, so let's just get ahead of it, shall we? Yamal, celebrating Barcelona's La Liga win, flew a Palestine flag from the team bus during their victory parade. It was the club's 29th domestic title. Al Jazeera wrote, since the start of Israel's genocidal war on Gaza in October of 2023, the city of Barcelona has served as a major hub for pro-Palestinian activism in Spain. Thus, Dean would write and print, in part, this is a teenager who appears to embrace his status and understands the power he wields. How else can one explain his decision to wave a Palestinian flag during the celebrations of Barcelona's title victory? That act prompted heavy criticism from Israel's defense minister, who accused the teenager of inciting hate. So here's what gets me, okay? You are quoting the defense minister of Israel. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of when local outlets will print a police statement after they've just killed a guy and been like, but they say it was self-defense and really it was the slain person's fault because they were the ones inciting violence. And it turns out from a FOIA request of the body cam footage that it was actually the cops. That's what this reminds me of. Dean did not put the counter to this rhetoric from Israel's defense minister. He did nothing of the sort. He just moved on to another paragraph completely. If he were to be respectful of the process and also the craft, he would have gone with, if he wanted to, that line of Lamine Yamal is inciting violence according to Israel's defense minister, but also activist groups and support groups say that it does no such thing, something of the sort. Explain to me how this incites violence, my man. Tell me. Because you are clearly taking the position that it is inciting violence. Explain it to me. Tell me how lifting a flag is inciting violence, but bombing schools is not. But bombing soccer fields is not. Tell me how Palestine could not even try to be represented at the World Cup because the amount of footballers that were playing, or at least that it would take to field a full and complete roster prior to the genocide, were killed are no more. Explain that to me, Dean. But he won't, because he can't. You cannot make the argument that Lamine Yamal is inciting violence and hatred by lifting a flag and make no mention of the countless lives lost because of the aggressor. Didn't say anything. He did nothing of the sort. I mean, what do you say, man? What do you say to such a bad faith argument? I'm serious. Comment section, hit me. Let me see it. It's just tiresome, man. I feel like we're being gaslit every single day. Every day. Now, it's not just me being critical of Dean. There would be many others online because, man, those critiques were flat out paramount. Hakimi and Partey are on trial for rape, but Lamine Yamal is your focus because he held a Palestine flag, wrote one user. Sports journalist Leila Hamed added, apparently Lamine was a bright-eyed boy until he held up a Palestine flag. Then he became controversial. The journalists who make a living romanticizing athletes like Muhammad Ali are the first to punish those who try to use their voice for something meaningful today. Tyler also voiced his thoughts. Truly terrifying how hostile the media become toward you the second you express solidarity with Palestine. We should pay heed as well to who is running the paper that Dean works for. Journalist Owen Jones reported through his sourcing that leaked internal documents display and show that they at the paper must support Israel. They have played into the usual lines. From Jones once more. In practice, the phrase Israel's right to exist has been repeatedly deployed by Israel's cheerleaders across the West to justify Israel's crimes. From occupation and colonization to apartheid and now mass destruction in Gaza. It is also telling what is not said. The essentials do not prohibit racism in general, despite later rejecting all forms of discrimination. There is no explicit rejection of Islamophobia, for example, or anti-Arab racism. Instead, oppose all forms of anti-Semitism. It is fused directly with support the right of Israel to exist. That conflation matters. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYTsports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.